Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 161, and we're in fabulous Florida. We are in Florida. We're in the Orlando area, Titusville, I think, or just Titus. That's the area that we're in right now, and just wanted to tell you a little bit about my day and how things went and what's going on and what the plans are going forward. Obviously, we're going to be going on a cruise, and I just want to give you the rundown about how things are going to work and when you can expect podcasts to be released. So let's talk about our day so far today. Last night, went to sleep around 1 o'clock. We got everything ready to go for today, and woke up early this morning, got our showers and done with everything, and left home around 7 o'clock this morning. So there was some question about which car we're going to take. I thought we're going to take her car because, you know, it's a newer car and she doesn't like driving in mine. It's just an older car and has problems and stuff like that, as you guys know, because I'm cheap and I don't want to waste money. But she thought it would be better if we took my car so that her sister could use our van, because her sister came out to visit. She's taking one of the kids with her back to where she lives, and then she'll be back in a week, and then everybody will be back together again. So she will be using the car, so we took my car to the airport. And so I've been having some trouble with this tire pressure monitor, and I just got the tire changed, so I'm probably going to take it back to Walmart and have them take a look at these two tires that they recently changed for me. One of them has a problem with the tire pressure monitor, and I think that's, well, I have to look it up first. Is it a problem with my car or with the actual tire? Does it have a thing on there? I think it has something that they add to the tire. I don't know, but whatever it is. It said the tire was low. I checked it. It wasn't low. No issue. So I wasn't too worried about it. We headed to the airport. There's a bunch of construction on the way. Got slowed down a little bit, but still got there perfectly on time. Everything. I like planning out my day perfectly. Like, I get up at this time, I leave the house at this time, I get to my first spot at this time, I leave there at this time, and it just helps keep my brain organized. It's just the way I work. And even if I'm 5 minutes or 3 minutes behind, then I start worrying about, is it going to screw up the rest of my day? So anyway, got to the airport okay, went through security. Well, actually, first, I've never flown this airline before. It's one of the discount airlines, and we had to pay extra for a bag. So she didn't really need this bag, but she wanted this bag because in case we buy a bunch of stuff, then we'll have more room. So we ended up paying $39 for the bag in one direction, and then the same bag going home was $44. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but that's how this airline works. So, and you can only have it up to like 40 pounds or something like that. So we go to check this bag in, and they're like, oh, you need a tag for it. I'm like, okay, print it out for me. No, you got to go. We're discount, you know what I'm saying? We don't do nothing. So you go over to that machine, you put in the code, you print it out, you bring it back with the code, with the tag on it, and we'll put it on the conveyor belt. That's all we're going to do. So I did that, gave it to them. We go to security, and I've got pre-pass, which I need to get the worldwide one. I haven't gotten it, and I should have done it already, but my wife doesn't. So we stood in the regular line, and then we walked up, and I said, look, I don't want my picture taken by this facial recognition biometric camera that you have. So oh no, we delete the pictures. I don't care if you delete the pictures. I don't want you scanning my face. So he didn't do that, and he's like, oh, you have pre-pass. I'm like, yeah, I still don't want you to scan my face. So the good thing about pre-pass is I don't have to empty my pockets. If I have paper in there like money or something like that, I don't have to empty it. I go through a metal detector instead of a body scanner. Last time I went through a body scanner, and they detected paper in my back pocket, which was money, and then they had me ruffle the bills so that they could see there was nothing between the bills. So I'm like, whatever, but I don't like that. I don't like having to do that. So what I've been doing lately is, even though I have pre-pass, I've been putting the money in the bag, and once it goes through the x-ray machine, then I've been putting it in my pocket. That way, if one of their machines was down like it was last time, and I have to go through the regular scanner, I'm not flashing all this money. So I did bring a reasonable amount of money. I brought about 10.3 with me. You might say, MW, why would you bring over 10,000? Well, because we're going to do stuff in Florida before we go. It's going to be at least $300. I'm not too worried about it. I'll be below 10,000 before we exit the country, so I'm not stressed out about that. And if I don't, even if I have over 10,000, big deal. You fill out some paperwork. I'm not too worried. So, got to our seat on the plane. We had a nice seat selection. So I had already upgraded to be able to take a carry-on. A carry-on wasn't even free. Only a personal item was free. So, but the whole flight was only like $390 round trip for the two of us, and it's over a 2-hour flight. So I don't think that's that much, even with paying the extra stuff. So, get to our seats, and the seats are like paper thin, but they're a nice, soft plastic, I guess you could say, like flexible, I guess, plastic, so it wasn't too uncomfortable. Seats weren't gigantic, but I got the first row of seats behind the exit row, the emergency exit row, so those seats don't recline, so nobody's going to be reclining into me. So we were happy with that. We got on the plane, and flight was good. There was a little bit of turbulence, but nothing ridiculous, just maybe 2 or 3 minutes of turbulence. We can live with that. Got to Orlando, Florida airport. I ordered an Uber to go to this Titusville. I'm ashamed of myself that I don't know where we are, but I think it's just Titus, maybe. And so I copied and pasted the name of the hotel at Titusville or Titus, whatever. And I put it in Uber, and it was supposed to be like $50. I had pre-planned, okay, it's going to be $50. We get to the airport, we get our bag, and it's like $30. And I'm like, why is it so cheap? I don't understand. So then I noticed that it's supposed to take like 40 minutes to get to where we are, and it was going to take like 28 minutes. I'm like, something's wrong. So I checked out the map on my phone, and we were going the wrong direction. So there must have been 2 of them that had a similar name, and we were going the wrong direction. So I told the driver, he said, you can change it in the app. I changed it in the app. It went up to $70 for the Uber, and we ended up getting to the right place. We go in to check in. It's still a little bit early. It's before 1 o'clock, and the guy says, it's a little bit early, but you can come back in an hour. I'll get you checked in. I said, well, I see that there's a restaurant across the street. It's a nice steak restaurant across the street. And I said, is that open? He's like, yeah, in fact, they have a lunch special, which they didn't have. I said, can I keep my bags here? He said, yeah. So we left the bags with him. We went across the street, sat down. I had this like tuna pokey thing, which is like tuna, mango, tuna. It's like this big cake. I'm going to actually post it. I'll remember to post it on YouTube, and you can see it. But beautiful dish with some like soy sauce stuff and some wasabi sauce all around it. It was a very beautiful plate. Had that as an appetizer, and then had some chicken fajitas. They were pretty good. The vegetables were cooked to death, but overall it was pretty good. So I give the tuna like a 10 on a scale of 2 through 8. I give the fajitas probably still a 10, because the chicken was so good. You could tell it wasn't frozen thawed. Some places will like put it out because we might use it today, and then refreeze it, and it gets that, like, to me it's kind of like a spongy, foamy type texture, and it just, I can tell the difference. I just don't like reheated stuff, and I can usually taste it unless you recook it really well with like lemon, garlic, olive oil, things like that. They're going to kind of mask the taste and like cook that taste out of there. So anyway, that was good. Got back to the hotel, got our room, beautiful room, nice room, king bed, couch, blah, 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 all that stuff. I got a good deal. It was like $120 $130 for the room. Really nice room in a really nice area, and very close to where we're going to leave tomorrow. So that was all good. So then we decided to go to the Kennedy Space Center, which I had been planning. I saw online it was like $65, ended up being $75, but it was less than what I expected. I've been to space museums and aviation museums that are free that were better than this, in my opinion. I was really disappointed because you're paying $75 a person, and then you come in and most of it's outside, and other stuff is like theaters. We go to his theater, and the theater's included. The showing's at 3 o'clock, and we show up at 3:02, and they're like, sorry, you got to show up 10 minutes before, we can't let you in. You can come back in an hour. I'm not coming back in an hour. We got there at like 2:40, and the place closes at 6. So we said, the heck with it. We moved on. We went to a little theater, and they had like 50 people in there. So we thought, hey, let's listen to this lecture, see what they're doing here. And the lecture was actually talking about an astronaut. His name is John Harrington, and they said, we have him here today. And he went on stage and talked, and he was a knowledgeable guy, and actually had a pretty weird, unusual, crazy life. Started off, he was an American Indian, born to, his mom was American Indian, his dad was something else, I forget now, I should know. So he's half Native American, and he grew up in a small area, and then he went to college and had a long hair and a beard and all this stuff, and then he didn't know what he wanted to do, so he started working on building roads, and then he met a guy while he was building roads. John Denver came through, and then he talked to this guy, and he said, why don't you become the engineer here? You can just go to school and become the engineer here. He went back to college, and he met someone else there, and he became a pilot. His dad actually was a pilot too, and he took his first flight at 10 years old. His dad was teaching him how to fly. Anyway, becomes a pilot, eventually ends up at NASA, and becomes an astronaut, went into space several times, over 5,000 hours of flying time other than that, and just had a cool story. Got married, moved, wife died, got remarried, moved, all this crazy stuff. But he loves the aviation industry. He loves NASA. He loves all this stuff. And they said after the thing was over, it was about half an hour, 40 minutes. After it was over, they said, John is going to be signing autographs after this. I thought, this is pretty cool. Let's go talk to the guy and meet him. So we go to the gift shop right next to the place, and he doesn't show up. It turns out it's a gift shop across the way. So we go to the gift shop across the way. There's a bunch of stuff in between here. I'm trying to make it short. We walk into this place, and there's a ramp. You go up the ramp, and up the ramp. It's like a big circle, and a big circle, and a big circle. You're like on the 4th floor, and it's still going up, and there's a line of people. I'm not going up there. And I hear them saying, you will be listening to a 12-minute video. I don't want to listen to a 12-minute video. I want to go to the gift shop and meet this guy. So I went back down. My wife stayed up there, and she watched the video. I went downstairs, went in from the exit area, and that's where the gift shop was, and he was there signing autographs. And I'm like, oh, well, I see he's signing like a picture. I guess you got to buy the picture. So I go, and I'm like, what am I going to buy? One of my kids collects patches, like go on like a jean shirt or a whatever, leather jacket or something like that, jean jacket, anything like that. So I said, let me get that, and I'll get the patch autographed, and maybe we could spray some waterproof stuff over it. So I went and got the patch. It was like $9.99. I didn't notice that you could get 2 for $15, but I don't know why I would need 2 anyway. So I stand in line, and I walk up to him, and he introduced himself, and I said, it's very nice to meet you. And he said, where are you from? And I told him, and what do you do? And I explained what I do, and he was like a really nice, decent guy. There's all these people waiting, and he wanted to have a conversation with you. He told me about someone else that he knew that was in the same industry as me. We had a nice little conversation for a couple minutes. I said, do you mind if we take a picture? No, I don't mind. So we took a picture. We had one of the people working there take a picture of him and me and my wife. And I sent that to my kid along with, hey, look, I got this thing signed for you. And the kid was excited. So all that's cool. And it was raining on and off, but we never got caught in any bad rain or anything like that. Took an Uber back to the airport to get some rest. Right now it's about 7 p.m. My wife is taking a little nap in the room, and I'm just outside recording this so you guys know what's going on. And tomorrow we get on the ship, and tomorrow afternoon we'll be sailing. So we're going to be on 4 different islands. I'll have internet possibly at those places. I supposedly have 100 minutes of internet also on the boat, so I may be able to upload stuff. But sometimes even with the boat, the internet's spotty, so I may or may not be able to. I can make phone calls to any of the 4 islands that we're going to. They're all in my plan. I talked about that in the previous episode. So I may be uploading stuff, I may not be. But you're going to get this. Today is Friday. You're going to get this episode today. Coach sent me his episode 3. I'm going to publish that tomorrow, Saturday. I'm going to keep Saturday for Coach for a while until he runs out of things to talk about or whatever he wants to do. It's his deal. I'm not going to interfere with it. I'm going to let him do it the way he wants to. Now I'm going to say, and I'm going to tell him, he did mention something in this next episode that kind of gives you an indication, a hint about something he was doing. And I'm going to ask him to stop giving too much information. And, if you guys learn about this stuff and you need some help, you can email me. I'm happy to help you if you're already on the road and you're already learning. But I'm not just going to volunteer free information. If you say, hey, I'm playing this, and it's at this, and this happened, did I do it wrong? I might give you some information. But if you say, what should I do? Where should I go? That's too much information, and I'm taking money away from other people who are working hard for their money to give it to someone who just wants it handed to them, if you know what I mean. So I'll talk to Coach about that. And, so I'm not sure. Today you'll get this, tomorrow you'll get Coach, and either Sunday, Monday, maybe even Tuesday you'll get my next episode, and then I don't know when the other ones will come, but we'll get off the boat next Saturday, so you'll have some episodes, 2 or 3 episodes between now and then, maybe more, just depending on how much information I have. I want to update you guys as I go along as to what we found out, what places to go to, what places to avoid, what other people told me, how the AP situation is on the boat, and all that kind of stuff. So there may be a lot of information, there might not be. It might be boring. So I don't know how many episodes, but as I do these, I'll try to give you more information when the next one is coming out. And we'll go from there. I know this wasn't the most exciting episode, but I wanted you to see what we were doing here and what was going on. And I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. I'll catch up with you guys when I catch up with you guys, probably Sunday or Monday. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have, forget about the segments. I told you what I ate and how I rate it. I didn't tip anything. What did I learn today? Make sure when you put something into Uber that you're going to the right place. Double check it. Make sure that it makes sense before you pay an extra $20 like I did today. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.